gentlemen, now we're going to begin the session on building sustainable cities, building a greener future with Indian MSMEs. As we face rapid urbanization, environmental degradation, and climate change, the need for sustainable cities is urgent. Indian MSMEs are uniquely positioned to drive this transformation through their innovation, agility, and commitment to sustainability. MSMEs in India are leading the way in green technologies. From renewable energy solutions like solar and wind power energy to energy efficient appliances and sustainable building materials, these enterprises are reducing our carbon footprint and promoting environmental stewardship. By adopting and scaling these technologies, we can make our cities more energy efficient and less reliant on fossil fuels. In conclusion, Indian MSMEs are crucial allies in building sustainable cities and a greener future. Their innovative solutions, commitment to sustainability, and community focus make them vital contributors to our urban landscape. Let us support and celebrate these enterprises as we work together to create cities that are economically vibrant, environmentally sustainable, and socially inclusive. I now request Mr. S.J. Vijay, founder and chairman, Salmon Leap Ventures, to come up on the stage. Mr. UdayaBhaskar Rao Abburu, CEO and managing director, iRam Technologies, to come up on the stage as well. Mr. Vinod Vasudevan, Chief Revenue Officer, Aeroy Inc., to come up on the stage. Mr. Jitesh Srivastava, Country Head, Franchise Rocking Deals Circular Economy Limited, to come up on the stage. Thank you, sir. Our next speaker, Mr. UdayaBhaskar Rao Abburu, CEO and Managing Director, iRam Technologies. Mr. UdayaBhaskar Rao Abburu has over 35 years of expertise in telecommunications and electronics. He leads iRam Technologies, specializing in IoT solutions for smart cities. His career includes significant roles in multinational telecom companies and contribution to India's IoT policy and smart city solutions using IoT technologies. Sir, we welcome you to speak a few words.
Thank you all. Thanks for giving me opportunity to Santosh and all others actually, and the audience also. So I'm not going to speak about my company or anything, but I'll be going to speak about generic solutions for the smart cities and what MSMEs can play a major role in those actually. So that's the main, right, my presentation is going to be there. So yeah, just go to the next slide. Yeah, go to the next slide. Okay. This one? Yeah. Yeah. What are the smart cities, right? So the smart cities should have the enhanced quality of life and clean and sustainable environment and smart usage of ICT and IoT products actually. So the idea of smart city is mainly, right, to have these aspects into the city. So without that, the smart city building, constructing and everything, right, so it's not going to help any people's, right, for their own usage or for their lifestyle actually mainly. So these aspects need to be taken into consideration while designing the smart cities or planning the smart cities in India. So if you see, I think last almost like 5-6 years, government of India has taken an initiative that they have to go for around close to 100 plus smart cities. And there was actually a forum, right, which is represented in a government of India for designing what are the solutions that goes into smart cities. And what are the cities requires actually, right, main as a solutions in each city. So it cannot be same for all the cities. It may be different for Bhubaneswar, different for Kanpur, and different for various other cities. So that's why I was also a member actually, as they mentioned that actually I was also a member in Government of India to decide or actually propose and decide what all the solutions that should go into that and which city should adopt and what solutions actually mainly. So again, the key focus, right? What should be the key focus? The utilities, mainly utilities is in India, right, will have a main problem of their measuring and then their accuracy and delivery of solutions actually to the individuals. So that's where major, right, address goes inside actually. So this is for the metering, that is smart metering and the gas and the utilities mainly, and waste management. So this is the place where we have put more efforts on that, right? So because that waste management was not there as a solution or actually as a for the smart cities earlier or the cities at all. So this waste segregation and waste, how disposal has to happen and waste collection has to happen. So those things, right, so was the main key areas for the cities actually. And then safety. Safety is again, right, a major hurdle in India and then India cities also. So how to solve this problem mainly? So is it going to be with the surveillance or is it going to be with the sensors, or how and where, right, you have to deploy, and how these to be brought into the solution where actually people can monitor either by manually or by automatically, and then, right, take decisions based on that. Is it police is going to guard that, or actually are the municipalities are going to take care of this? So who is going to do what actually? So that is again one more focus actually it was then. And efficient use of mobility, right? So this is again urban mobility, this is the transport. See, we have transport in various sectors like again bus transport, metro transport, rail transport, so multiple. So multiple passes, integration of those things. I think most of you know that, okay, that's there available in many other cities across the world. But still, I think in India, or at least in particular in Bangalore, we are not able to make it actually a common pass. So still we are lacking in that, and that is where actually, right, the government was putting focus on integrating all these transport solutions and mobility solutions together. I can bring actually this one more aspect into that, again, parking also, right? So that's where my forte, actually, I will talk about my solution. If at all, right, you want to travel from one corner of the city to the other corner, you can just look at, at the end of the destination, whether I am going to have a parking place or not. If I am not, actually, then can I travel through some other mode of transport? So you just ask a solution in your app, actually, and then it will direct saying that, okay, you go by this metro train and then catch this bus and then you can end up there. Or if you go by car, you're going to take this route and then take so much of time and then you'll end up parking place issues, and then you may not be able to attend your event also. So these kind of decisions, right, if it is given to the consumers or commuters, then that will be a good solution for any smart cities, actually. That's one thing. And e-governance. So e-governance was happening earlier also, but that was not much effective. Actually, how the people want to have their own applications to the government, actually, for any release of certificates or their land records or various aspects, right? So what they want from the government services. So that is, again, one more thing, like, it is going to be streamlined with this smart city solutions. And for the users and general public, the citizens, right, how they are going to use these facilities. So that is, again, one more aspect it was discussed in the smart city solutions. So what are all the verticals, right, you have in the smart cities? I think this is the general verticals which are going to be there in the smart cities generally, but not all for all the cities, again, right? So it may be, if you look at Bangalore, Bangalore was not selected as a smart city for 3 times in a row because they didn't present it properly, what they want, actually. Every time they put up an application to the Smart City Council, it was rejected because they didn't know exactly what they want, actually. So after that, I think they said, okay, we want this road to be, right, made posh or green, and we want this actually solution. So, but again, right, it didn't go well, actually. So due to that, if you see only St. Mark's Road or MG Road or some places, right, they made the smart, but rest of the city remains same. So if you just go out of the Bangalore city, inner circle, outer circle you go, you cannot reach, right, within 1.5 hour also. So I took almost from my Sajapur Road to reach here 1 hour and 15 minutes for just 12 kilometers distance. So that's not smart, actually. But if you want to walk across a St. Mark's Road or MG Road, right, you can do it actually maybe in the evening, and then just don't feel that this is smart. Actually, people they've made actually LED lights and then good lighting conditions. So that's not a smart city. So you need to look at what are the problems really, which is the traffic and communication and urban mobility, make that possible. See, if somebody wants to go for any place to any place, he has to traverse through Majestic, if it is a bus, or you have to go to a care market. They don't have actually direct buses actually. And there is no even mechanism to tell them where to go also. Thanks to the Google Maps actually, at least they will show which bus you catch and which you get down, and then again you can catch another bus and then reach the place. So that's what actually is needed for the smart cities mainly. So if you look at the various all these things are displayed here. So the smart tracking system, the smart traffic management system, communication network. The communication network is the main thing you require for any smart cities to happen. Unless you have this smart communication system, the endpoints what you have already made available, it's not going to connect. I have deployed my solutions in almost 12 smart cities in India. In most of the places, my products are there but not being used because the endpoints are not being connected. We made actually the solutions ready, but now there is no fiber, there is no connectivity, and that's not being used. They said, okay, it takes time because roads are being built and it will take some more time, roads are being digged. So these are not planned properly. So unless you plan properly with the smart cities, first the network of the communication, and then you go to the individual solutions, then only it makes sense actually for any smart cities. So again, the smart governance and smart connect, actually these are the B2B applications, B2C applications, which is already there actually in some cities. And the government of Karnataka actually has taken initiative to give these solutions to the citizens, and then they are using. And in Andhra Pradesh also it is being used a lot, actually Andhra Pradesh and Telangana also. What is IoT network? It is an Internet of Things. It's like connecting anything which is there on on your table. There is a water glass, cup, everything, which is non-living things connecting into a network or cloud is an IoT. It's a damn thing, So you cannot tell that where it is, and it cannot tell what it is doing. So you just have to connect it to the internet. So that's an Internet of Things. Nothing. It's actually simple about that. So I bring all my slides into one slide so that you'll have an attention in this. So instead of going to, I have only 5 slides, and this is actually last before the slide. And in this, if you see, there are various solutions here. One is the smart vehicle tracking system, how the vehicles are moved around the city. Maybe, it's a waste disposal, or is it a transport system? Everything, it is connected here. How to track the buses, how to track the trains, and how to track your various transport systems into one network is a vehicle tracking system. And the traffic management. This is about the traffic inside the city. So where the traffic is more, or how you can divert the traffic, and how the signals are going to be automated, and how much time you have to leave. So if you see some places, you will be seeing 120 seconds or 180 seconds simply. There is no traffic going on, but still there, so you have to just wait. So instead, that if you have a proper smart tracking system and smart traffic management system, then you can make that actually automated and then leave the traffic properly flow so that the next traffic is not congested. So the mission critical applications, again, this is for surveillance purpose, or even for the floods, or any accidents happen, how do you detect actually, and how do you report to the police? And automatic reporting itself, that if you have seen some event happening, some people are actually quarreling or something happening there, the cameras can look at that actually, and then visualize, and it takes video analytics, and then it will send an alert to the police or nearest authorities, then they can come and then actually address to that actually. So, and even in the floods, if you have seen Bangalore with the rains, if it is more rain happens, the areas are going to be flooded. So people will not be knowing that when they are going in a car, so is that going to be flooded in an underpass or somewhere actually. So those things are addressed in the mission critical systems mainly. And citywide environmental sensing system. So if you look at earlier days, actually in environmental system, they look at actually rain is going to happen, and then the radio or TV is going to announce that, okay, you're going to have a rain, possibly right 50% or 70% or somewhere in next 3 days. But if you come out and see that it's going to be shiny, there won't be any rain at all. So that is the problem, right, we had earlier, because the sensor was in the airport somewhere, and then you are living somewhere about 20, 30 kilometers away. What is happening now is that the sensors are placed across the city for every 50 meters or 100 meters, and all this information is taken into one common network, actually, and from there, actually, they are going to disseminate the information to various people, actually, at various departments. And based on their need, actually, they can calculate and then give the alerts to the people, right, to those areas. So that is one, actually. We have deployed a lot of these environmental systems for all the smart cities in India. And again, right, if you look at solid waste management, I covered, actually, so from the collection to the dispose and then finally processing. And the smart poles, this is one more thing, right, which is recent approach is happening across the world, and India also is taking a lead, because when we are transitioning from 4G to 5G, you can no longer be relying on the towers, which is about 20 meters, 100 meters height. So you should have your radio equipments, the telecommunication radio equipments at the height of about a 12-meter pole or 15-meter pole. Beyond that, it doesn't work, actually. So that's the reason the cities will have a lot of opportunities to rent their area for these poles, right? So then only you can have a good connectivity across. Otherwise, you will have a 5G signal, but you will still be getting a very low data rates, actually. So for that, the smart poles are there, and the smart poles can have various other components like a display, video display, and advertisements can play on that, and then the LED lights and other systems, actually. The smart parking is one solution, right? I supply to various smart cities, and this is like a sensors. It will have actually sensing a car on the road or on actually multi-level parking also, and it will communicate this information on a wireless to the nearest gateway, from the gateway to the server, and then you can see the occupancy rates of the parking. So in this case, actually, as I mentioned earlier, that if somebody wants to travel to some place, actually, that he can see in the app, my app, that is, am I going to get a parking place? And while I'm approaching also, I can see whether I'm still getting a possibility of getting a parking or not. How much is possibility, 90% or 70%? Otherwise, I can divert to some other parking place and then park there and then walk from there to, or catch an auto from there, actually. So that's one thing. And then the second thing is that currently the parking is a mafia system in any city. So we are going to make it fully digitized so that there won't be any cash transactions. So we are already done in 2 cities, in Jhansi and Pune. So completely it has gone digital. So there is no cash transactions happens at all, actually. So and then this is the ICOMC. This is actually a command control center, which is going to collect all the information and then give this information based on the various needs of the people, actually departments, or be it to the commuters, or be it to the citizens, or be it to the officers who wants to monitor. So this is the total network of the smart cities it represents. So how does the platform look like? So this is the platform, right? The government and public utilities participate in this, utilities and services, and then citizens also, and then the APIs are given. Why this slide is being presented here, their MSMEs, right, so can take part in this. So these are the solutions, and these are the workflows, and what are all the right, you can pick the components from this, and then you can develop the solutions for this. Mainly, what we do is that, okay, we have taken utilities and service providers, and then citizen services, and then the health and transport I have taken, and then environment also I have taken. Maybe remaining people, right, so in the healthcare, utilities and energies, so people can pick up individual solutions. So it's not going to be, a smart city is not going to be done by any big MNC or any IBM or this Wipro or these people. It's going to be a combination of all the small players like MSMEs, and then they are going to make their own solutions, because these are all tailor-made solutions. You cannot get any solution ready for an Indian city. We participated in a tender in Bhubaneswar with Honeywell. Honeywell did not bring their own solutions to India because it's going to be expensive. The second thing is that it cannot work in India. So we have given the hardware and the software to Honeywell, and then like that, actually it may be about 10% of the component, but all the small companies like me, there are other small companies also have contributed 10%, and then finally the smart city is built. So integration of these things, there is a role, actually. There is a software and then the hardware players' roles to integrate all those things together. That's all about myself, actually. Thank you.